Welcome to the show. Y'all know the usual, the COVID-19 cases. Let's start by looking at the cases here in the Oasis County. And it doesn't look good. As of today, it went out to 34,997 cases, which is 3 closer to 38,653 plus 5. That equals 658 deaths. In the state of Texas, 2.36 million plus 18,940. And then the deaths, 37,096 plus 370. That's like close to 37,400 deaths in the state of Texas. United States, 26.1 million plus 160K, none have recovered. 439K, 3,600 deaths. 103 worldwide, 56.7 million recovered worldwide. 2.22 million deaths have happened worldwide. But the biggest one ever happens to be in California. 1.11 million. That's a lot of cases. We're like the biggest ever. We're worse than Texas. We're in the lead. And is there nothing we can do? I've told you guys many times, you need to wear a mask, stay 6 feet, and wash your hands. How hard is that? It's not rocket science. Okay? This is not rocket science. If you're sitting there going, yes, it is rocket science, it's not rocket science. The mask has to be at the nose and stays at the nose, not down here, nor up down the chin. It's not that hard. So again, what can be done about this? You need to start wearing masks at the nose, stay 6 feet, look at the markings on the floor, and do a health screen. Make sure that you're good to go. If your work does not do a temperature check, get your own thermometer. Get one of those thermometer guns. I think they cost around and if you want to find them at Walmart, it's an infrared thermometer. You can find them just about at any store. They're out of stock. You can just find one. You can find one on eBay. You can find one on Amazon. You can find one. You can find one on eBay. It's not that expensive. Some cost around $9. Some cost around $12. The one I got was like $20.99. The one I got was like $9. I think some of them cost around $26 to $10. As a matter of fact, that's what I need to be doing. I need to bring my own thermometer gun. Those take like AAA batteries. AAA or AA batteries, or as the Latinos call it. Not that expensive. Okay, storage deleted. Okay, I don't know what, okay. If you have a medical condition, then what you need to do is make sure to let them know beforehand so that they understand. And if they don't understand, you need to walk away. if I were you, I recommend, if you're going to go eat at a restaurant for a date, that's okay, but just make sure you have your mask with you at all times. And make sure you're staying socially distant at all times. The only time you ever take your mask off is if you need to eat or drink. That's it. At sporting events, you are required to wear a mask. Grocery stores, wear a mask. Movie theaters, you need to wear a mask. Ifs, ands, buts. I remember one time I forgot to get my mask. I forgot my mask. I was like, I'm sorry, I forgot my mask. She said it was okay. Just because you say it's okay does not mean you just walk around. You gotta walk away. But just remember that. Not many people will accept you, let you go in if you don't have a mask. Just remember that. Alright. Later on, safety break. This time it's all about the ATVs or the ATCs. Before you buy one, you need to make sure that you know that you need to find out about the safety of those things, and you need to know about the safety of these things, and you need to know about, talk with your child about this before you go out and buy one. But next, there are myths about the COVID-19 vaccine. Ashley Gonzalez talks with an expert about this, about all the myths, and an expert who answers your questions after this. Now it's all about these COVID-19 myths that are happening.
World, several questions, rumors, and myths are also being passed around. 3 News reporter Ashley Gonzalez took these claims directly to the experts to separate fact from fear.
It's all about fact and fear this time. And some of you may have questions. Some of you may think these are rumors. This is not a rumor to me. This is the real deal. Here's Ashley Gonzalez.
Millions around the globe have picked up their sleeve and received their COVID-19 vaccine. And while there are billions more folks that need theirs, experts are saying, do not be afraid to get your vaccine because of the myths that are floating around. Dr. Jaime Fergie is an infectious disease specialist. He says there are some popular false claims out there. For example, is there a micro-tracking device being injected in my body when I get a COVID-19 vaccine?
It's funny, but it's totally false.
He says another frequent question is, will the Moderna or Pfizer vaccine actually make me sick? Dr. Fergie says no, but there are a few reported side effects to look out for after getting the vaccine.
Neither one of the vaccines available can make you sick with COVID because there are no live viruses, but you can have side effects from the vaccine, and those are relatively common. You can feel tired for a day or two, you can have pain, you can at the injection site, you can have some swelling, some people complain of some joint pain.
And in very few instances, allergic reactions may occur. But again, Dr. Fergie says it's not common at all.
Very rarely, as I mentioned, 2 or 3 cases per 1 million may develop an allergic reaction. But nobody have died with this allergic reaction.
He added, when it comes to explaining what the vaccine contains, some have this question. Will the COVID-19 vaccine alter my DNA or genetic sequence?
No, it's impossible. That doesn't happen. We injecting people with something called messenger RNA. It doesn't get into the inner part of the cell, the nucleus where the DNA.
Dr. Fergie wants to remind the Coastal Bend, it's okay to have questions or concerns, but make sure those are being answered by medical experts and trusted sources. Ashley Gonzalez, 3 News.
Thank you, Ashley. And I agree with these experts. You need to, if you have problems with that COVID-19 vaccine, you need to talk to your doctor, ask them about the side effects, and make sure you get the answers. Write them down on a piece of paper so you don't forget the side effects. Do your research beforehand so you don't have to ask the doctor a lot more questions. Or just watch one of my episodes that you can understand the side effects of these vaccines, so that the next time you go over there, you can study my episodes. Like, oh, okay, this can happen, that can happen. But you don't have to use my show. But what you can do, what you really can do, is do some research. Like, if you were to ask Google the side effects of the COVID-19 vaccine, fatigue, headache, muscle aches, chills, joint pain, and possibly more than fever. Usually 28 to 48 hours, no more than a few days. So, but can it give me COVID-19? Nope, it can't. The Pfizer's vaccine, well, in 7 days getting vaccinated, the side effects, fever, chills, tiredness, and headache. That's the Tylenol doesn't take 1 to 3 days. I wouldn't mind giving my COVID-19 vaccine just for experimental purposes only, but it will be for give me break purposes only, just to make sure that these questions are answered for the viewers. Next, there's a tug of war going on. Not just about the kids. It's about the family pets. You know, the dogs, about the family pets. This comes after a report I saw in 2020. Not all of it. I saw only part of it while working on my top hunter for this episode. Stay tuned for that, and I'll explain. Last night, I saw a 2020 report back in 1993 about pet custody. What is pet custody? The end of a relationship is a difficult time for most individuals going through a divorce or separating. A couple must not only deal with the emotional aspects, but the division of material possessions. Marital obsession include finances, poverty, but also include family companion animals. Custody over the family pet has become an important issue for many divorced couples in recent years. Legally, a common animal is treated as property. The court may view pets as part of material property. Therefore, the options over the court are limited. But who gets custody at the dog divorce? In a divorce, a pet is considered property. It's a shared custody, so it's the same thing with kids. If you get divorced, then the father has to see the child one day, and then the mother has to see the child the other day, or sometimes on weekends, depending on your point of view, like depending on what you choose. But what do you do if you're involved in custody? But what should you do if you're involved in a custody battle of your companion animal? Courts may consider various factors like who purchased the animal, who is the animal's primary caretaker, and who will provide the animal the best quality of life. Factors to consider: if you were not the one who originally brought the animal home, do not give up. There are other ways that may be helpful sustaining your claims being the primary caregiver of the animal. Thus, the one who should be awarded custody. If your neighbors saw that you were always the one who walked your dog to care, they may be useful witnesses. Information can help validate your claims as a primary caregiver includes receipts, dog training classes, food, etc. In alternatives to custody, they may award visitation, partial custody of your animal companion if you're not granted sole custody. Just make sure to pursue all available options. Again, your attorney should be able to give you guidance on these issues. So just, if it happens, just talk to your attorney and they'll help you out. Now, what about in California? There's a new pet custody law. This was back about a year ago. A couple years ago, new California law changed the way pet custody is handled in divorce cases. This new law judges the power to consider the care of the best interest of the pet or companion animal when making decisions in separate divorce matters. I'm not going to read you the whole thing, but basically, if you're concerned about that, just talk to your attorney and they'll help you out in a situation like this. Well, next, safety break. This time is all about all-terrain vehicles, or ATVs, and ATCs. You got your three-wheelers and four-wheelers. I know because my dad has a four-wheeler himself. We're going to tell you some safety tips for you and your children after I saw two reports, one from 2020 and one from 60 Minutes, when we come back. Episode 3 of Safety Break. This time it's all about the ATVs. But before you ride, here are some tips from experts. And what they need to do is offer classes on how to ride ATVs. And especially for teens. The rule says you should not be riding under the age of 16 or 14 in some states because of safety. I mean, if you were to look at ATV accidents in your state, like looking at the state of Texas, if you were to look at statistics, the annual total number of accidents and injuries resulting in ATV use went up from 10,000 cases in 1982 to 15,000 in the year 2017. The 50% increase could be attributed to a number of factors. Factors key among them being widespread for these four-wheelers. If you were to look at the state of Texas, it happened in Fort Worth. These people, what I think really needs to happen here is we need safety courses. We need to find somewhere off road. What we need to do is have a safety course. We need to teach parents about the safety, and before parents go out and buy, we need to offer them the safety course, and it should be mandated. What we need to mandate is safety courses for people who want to buy an ATV. If you don't do the safety course, you can't buy it. And you have to have a license to do so. Let's talk about alright. So let's focus on these tips. You have to be at least 16 years old. Experts strongly discourage ATV use by anyone younger than 16. Operating ATV demands the driver should be skilled in making quick adjustments. People under 16 are more likely to have physical strength and decision-making experience necessary to drive ATV safely. Get ATV certified. Learn how to do it safely in a controlled setting. Some states require state teens to be 16 and have a safety certificate. Yes. Ride an ATV that's right for your size and age. They can weigh more than 600 pounds. Such ATV is designed for your age group. And always wear an approved helmet and eye protection. Wear long pants, long sleeves, gloves, and over-the-ankle boots. Ride at a safe speed on the trail line for use. No basic first aid. Treat minor injuries to be able to get up in an emergency. Know and follow the rules of your state. If you need to know the rules, visit the Consumer Product Safety Commission for information. This applies even if you're not the one steering the ATV. And here are the don'ts. Never ride on a 3-wheel ATV. Never ride an ATV at night. No. Never ride while under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Never ride on paved surfaces or public roads set to cross them. Never exceed the number of passengers recommended by the manufacturer. Teens should never give a passenger a ride even if they have a 2-person ATV. The truth is that lots of people can get hurt by an ATV, some are killed. If you're going to learn how to ride an ATV, if you're going to ride an ATV, knowing how to use one safely and following every safety tip can make accident less likely. And it can help prevent serious injuries if an accident does happen. Now, like I said, we need some safety course. If you were to find an ATV safety course near you, there wouldn't be one. Even if you were looking at Harley Davidson, they have the safety course. They don't have one. Even if you were to go to complain to the mayor saying, hey, we need a safety course for ATVs. There's no safety course in your area. You'd have to go all the way to California. You need to find a safety program in your state that would help. We need those in Corpus Christi. If we don't have those Corpus Christi, there's more accidents that are going to be happening, more deaths, more injuries, more lawsuits, court dates, and lots of other things. What really needs to happen is we need to mandate safety. I do mean safety in all these ATVs. So if you're going to buy an ATV, you need to learn the safety, and if you have them pass it, for parents have them have your child pass a quiz or something. But I think it's mandated that you need to teach them the safety of it. If you don't, then there's going to be more accidents happening than before you know it. Do I agree with you? I do agree with you, absolutely. I mean, do you agree with me? Absolutely. These things need to happen. And if we don't do this, there's going to be a lot of accidents happening and nothing is going to be done. More lawsuits, more court dates, liability suits. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. Back in a moment. Here's a story we're looking at for Give Me a Break Sunday. To spank or not to spank. Experts say you shouldn't spank, but some parents do. What you need to know, I'm going to tell you why spanking is bad and should be legal here in the state of Texas, especially at schools. That's on Sunday. That's all of this district Give Me a Break Saturday. Join me tomorrow for Give Me a Break Sunday. Follow us here on YouTube. Have a great night.